Curtis, we appreciate you coming on the show. And I know that you are running around like crazy, talking everywhere. So I'm just going to start off. Let's just dive right into it. I have pledged, if you win, so you know, to wear a red beret for a week and open up a bar tab at a sports bar not run by communists in New York City. So I'm on the record there if you win. Here's my concern. You can tell me why I'm a moron. If you stay in this race, I think on Wednesday we are going to wake up and we are going to see that Mamdani did not get the majority of the vote, but that you and Andrew Cuomo have split the anti-Mamdani vote. And as a result, this awful Marxist left-wing lunatic, Mamdani, is going to be the next mayor of New York City. If that happens, will you feel responsible? How would you respond to someone like me who thinks that that's the most likely outcome if you stay in the race?
Well, let's go back to your initial statement. That's too easy at a bar tab in a gin mill. How about riding the number 4 train, the Muggers Express, with me and your red beret, fighting crime? That's a little more dangerous. But on the subject,
all right, I will join you on whatever public transit you would like me to join you on. If you are New York City's mayor in a red beret, I will join you. So I'll step it up a notch.
But remember, wait a second. The reason there is a Zohran Mamdani is that you had a failed mayor, Eric Adams, the most corrupt in the history of New York City, and that's saying a lot. Had he been a halfway decent mayor, it would have been round 2, 2025, as it was in 2021. Eric Adams, incumbent Democrat, running against Republican challenger Curtis Sliwa. So Eric Adams failed, Democrat. Then Andrew Cuomo, like a political zombie, came back from the Hamptons where he was hanging out with his billionaire friends, was 40 points ahead on March 1st when he announced he was running in the Democratic primary to become the next mayor. 3.5 months later, with Zohran Mamdani at 1% when Andrew announced at 40%, he got beat by 13% and admitted he ran a horrible race. He didn't do retail politics. Well, guess what? Just recently, the New York Post published a story that said that Andrew Cuomo has been absent from the campaign trail for 10 days since Labor Day. You don't win elections that way. I'm in the subways, I'm in the streets, I'm on the buses, I'm meeting the people, the voters. I am the Republican, populist, blue-collar, working-class candidate. That's my pathway to victory. Andrew Cuomo is responsible for the rise of Zohran Mamdani, and the Democrats are responsible for the socialists taking over their party. So why would I even drop out? And by the way, you can't drop out. I'm on the ballot. No, I'm not on the number 2 line. I'm the Republican candidate. There's no dropping out. I've never intended to drop out. Billionaires tried to bribe me with $10 million. Now I got to walk around with armed guards along with my wife, Nancy, because our lives have been threatened. You really think that Curtis Sliwa, with everything I've been through in my life, is going to drop out? Think of that last scene in Braveheart where Mel Gibson is on the gurney and the executioner says, I want you to bow to the King of England or I'm going to impale you. I'm saying impale me. I will never support Andrew Cuomo, the prince of evil. He's cold-hearted. He is the worst of what the Democratic Party represents.
Okay, so if I am right, though, and Mamdani wins because you and Cuomo split the anti-Mamdani vote, is it your contention that Mamdani is not going to be worse than Cuomo would be? And by the way, neither Buck nor I have any love lost for Cuomo at all. And Bucks, you've won Buck over with your Braveheart analogy there.
Yes, I was going to say, that's all I needed to hear, but go ahead.
But if Mamdani is elected, do you not think that he will be worse for New York City than Cuomo? Or do you think they're both so awful there's no distinction at all, no matter who would win it there?
Well, the reason that we lock up toothpaste and not criminals is the architect of no cash bail, Andrew Cuomo, and then his apprentice is Zohran Mamdani. Guys, my oldest son, Anthony, was nearly killed in a gang attack, juveniles. They stomped him. He's lucky to have survived because of the architect of Raise the Age, Cuomo, and his supporter on that, the apprentice Zohran Mamdani. These 5 juveniles who should have gone to criminal court and been charged with adult crimes went to family court and were released on their own recognizance to their parents. And then lastly, Governor Cuomo, when he was in charge 10 years ago before he fled impeachment to the Hamptons, he was the architect of closing our prison, Rikers Island, and his apprentice, Zohran Mamdani. They both have led to the crime crisis that we're in now. I see no differentiation. They are birds of a feather, two peas in a pod. They're Democrats. They have caused the destruction of New York State. They're looking to destroy New York City. And again, Andrew Cuomo has only himself to blame for Zohran Mamdani being the Democratic nominee because he didn't run a race. So I'm the Republican. I have Republican values, completely different than my adversaries. I believe this is a strange notion in America, isn't it? Democracy should prevail. The billionaires aren't going to choose the mayor or the influencers or the insiders. The people. One person, one vote. Let the people choose the next mayor. Cuomo has already signaled that if he loses to Zohran Mamdani, he's fleeing to Florida. I stay. I fight for what I know is right. Improve, don't move. If I happen to lose to Zohran, I will become his worst nightmare 24/7, 365. I fight. Cuomo runs.
All right, so now the other New Yorker here, Curtis, wants to jump in. I wanted Clay to be able to get out there because he's been worried about the ticket splitting issue. I just want to throw out there that I think blue face paint a la Braveheart along with your red beret would be a good look in these final days because that is a fantastic movie. And now, to his point, you have won me over with your fight till the very end. But tell me this, how is it that you could win? Is it that all the polls, if you win based on what the so-called intelligentsia and the political class, pundits, etc., based on what they've been saying, it would be the biggest upset? I don't know. I mean, certainly along the lines of Trump 2016, bigger than that based on the numbers. What do you say to those people who are telling you you're a long shot, you're a no shot, and you're just helping the other side, right? How do you win? What's your pathway look like?
Last time I ran against Eric Adams, and remember, I did warn everybody he would be corrupt and there would be chaos. I was right about that. I got 28% of the vote. So I build on the 28%. I not only have conservative Republican votes, there are 2.5 times the number of independents than there are Republicans. I have that vote. And I have a new line, independent line, protect animals. First time ever in electoral history, my wife was able to get the signatures to qualify it. It's the first independent line on the ballot. Try to find Andrew Cuomo in the maze, very difficult. And it calls for no-kill shelters and put animal abusers in jail. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of women and men who are one-issue voters out there when it comes to animals. Mahatma Gandhi said, a society that does not take care of its animals does not take care of its people. And look at us here in New York City. We don't take care of our homeless, our emotionally disturbed, our veterans. But Cuomo supported the $7 billion that Eric Adams spent on illegal aliens, people we didn't even know. I want to take care of our own. It's time we bring it home and care for our homeless, our emotionally disturbed, and most importantly, our veterans who have been forsaken. You don't hear Cuomo saying that, and naturally, you don't hear Zohran.
Curtis, I love the protect animals thing. I love dogs as much as any human being I've ever met, and other animals too. So I think that's fantastic. But I want to ask you about this: the Mamdani shape-shifting situation here, or the code switching, the changing it up on some of the stuff. For example, now he's saying he would keep Jessica Tisch, who I actually worked with at the NYPD many years ago, keep her in the commissioner role. What do you make of that? I mean, is it just he'll say anything to make people not as scared of his communist nonsense as they should be? What's going on?
Well, he's Bill de Blasio on steroids. Now, remember, he's more dangerous because Bill de Blasio, halfway through the night, would be on the back porch of Gracie Mansion smoking his Maui Wowie and Hindu Kush with his grifter wife, Charlene. With Zohran Mamdani, he would give 20 hours a day to destroying the city. But de Blasio, when he was running in 2013, said, I will choose Bill Bratton as my police commissioner. That was his insurance policy. So he's following in the footsteps of his mentor, Bill de Blasio, by saying, I will keep Jessica Tisch. The question is, if he should win, will Jessica Tisch stay? I don't know. I don't have conversations with her. I've got my boots on the ground. I'm in the subways. I'm dealing with regular, average day, working class people. I'll let the elites determine that while I'm in the streets.
Curtis Sliwa with us right now, running Republican nominee for mayor of New York City. You mentioned right off the top that you've been offered $10 million to drop out by billionaires. What do those offers look like? And will you tell us who's been offering for you to be paid to drop out of the race?
Yeah, well, there were 7 calls that I fielded from people I grew up with that are not supporting me. They're supporting Cuomo, which is fine. But they were calling on his behalf for me to drop out. And the last call, which my wife listened to, who is a attorney, Nancy, got to the point where I said, no, 1,000 times no. And then he said, Curtis, everybody has a price. $10 million is a lot of money to walk away from. I said, guy, you know me. I was born with nothing. I'll die with nothing. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. This sounds to me unethical. It's a bribe. It could be illegal. And from that day forward, my wife said, look, you got to put everybody on blast that if they're going to talk to you about bribing you, you're going to be wired up like a Christmas tree, which I am now. And there have been no calls since. Now, the people who reached me, they're family people. They have businesses. In the business of politics, which you know is the dirtiest business of all, just ask the founder of UFC. He said the same thing, the dirtiest business. I give these guys a pass. They know not what they do, but anybody moving forward, hey, you're going to be prosecuted for obviously illegalities and for what are corruptive practices.
Have you talked to Donald Trump? He has discussed your candidacy. He's talked about the fact that sometimes he wishes you would drop out because he's concerned about Mamdani becoming the mayor of New York City. Have you talked to Trump? What have those conversations been like?
No, I have not spoken to the president recently for 40 years. I knew Donald Trump as a New Yorker. We had a love-hate relationship like most people had with Donald Trump. I mean, you look at his vice president, J.D. Vance, doing a great job. He called him Hitler in 2016, and now he's the vice president. So I've been on the roller coaster with Donald Trump like most people. He's not reached out to me. He's not talked to me. He certainly has had conversations with Andrew Cuomo and with Eric Adams. And the president is free to do what he wishes. I wish he would endorse me. He hasn't. But I've always said publicly, Mr. President, you're trying to get peace in the Middle East and Persian Gulf. That you're the only guy who can do that. You got to get peace between Russia and Ukraine. You're the only guy who can do that. He's dealing with Asia now and the Red Chinese menace. He's the only guy who can deal with that. Comparably to those bigger issues, do you think weighing in on the mayoral race in New York City is equal to those? I don't think so. And by the way, Zohran Mamdani loves it, because then he plays David to Goliath. He doesn't want to run against Andrew Cuomo or Curtis Sliwa. He wants to run against Donald Trump, who happens not to be very popular in New York City. He is around the country. He is in other parts of New York State. The benefit of my running and winning a mayoral election as a Republican is it's 1993 all over again. Rudy Giuliani won. I am Rudy Giuliani 2.0. And next year we set it up the way it was in 94 when Pataki beat the better Cuomo, Mario. And we had not only competence, no corruption, no chaos. Crime went down with Rudy and with Pataki. You elect me, the Republican mayor, and then we pull out all the stops to elect Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, the governor next year, Republican candidate, and we can return to the days of Giuliani and Pataki and send Kathy Hochul packing back to Buffalo.
All right, Curtis, real quick, we only have 30 seconds before we get into a hard break here. Where can people go? We got a big WOR audience that want to mobilize for you. What's the site? What do they do?
Just go to Sliwa for NYC.com. That's Sliwa, FORNYC.com. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Curtis, thank you. Bring home the W, and Clay's going to wear that red beret. I'll wear one too, actually. Thank you so much. Curtis could use some rapid radios while patrolling the subways with the Guardian Angels. Look, you've heard us talking about rapid radios before. They keep you connected to people, particularly when you experience service disruptions caused by natural disasters or power outages. Rapid radios are small, can slip into your purse or even a coat pocket, but don't let their size fool you. They go 5 days without a charge and connect to anyone anywhere in the U.S. that's also carrying one. That's because they work on a nationwide LTE network. Let's just say these walkie-talkies have come a long way since we were kids. Storms don't wait for the right time. Emergencies don't send invitations. You need to be prepared. This holiday, give a gift that keeps you connected to the people you love. No monthly fees, no complicated setup, just pre-programmed, reliable communication when it counts. Because when everything else goes silent, Rapid Radios don't. Go to rapidradios.com, use code radio. That's rapidradios.com today.